been a huge week for the SAL and AFA. But before we go into that, Ibis Football Club. We start the grassroots segment with every week. ibisfootballclub@gmail.com is where you can find more information. Ibis Football Club @gmail.com, facebook.com/ibis.fc, and twitter.com/ibis_football. At Ibis_football on Twitter, and ibisfc.co.uk. We have 4 teams in the Southern Amateur League, 3 of which actually started off their league campaigns this past Saturday. We'll get onto the scores and scorers in a second, but training is every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on the Battersea Park all-weather astro turf pitch, and match days are on Saturdays, as G-Man, me and you will be potentially finding out this coming Saturday if we're picked. Well, if you're picked. If it's best for the team, if it's best for the force side, I'll leave myself on the bench for the season opener this coming week. But I want to be playing. But you know what? Yeah, I said we have 4 teams in the Southern Amateur League, and our match days are on Saturdays. But you know what? Let's go into some Ibis results from the weekend. 7th of the 9th, 2013, September 7th, 2013. Ibis won 6, South Bank Quarco 3. NASA. Oh, that's pretty cool. NASA got a hat-trick, Mehdi got 2, and Eric got 1 as well. Ibis 2s won, Broomfield 2. Alex Minchell with the only goal for Ibis in that match. And Alexandra Park, there's an irony in that match. Alexandra Park won, Ibis Freeze 1. I think that was Gideon Barnett who got the only goal of the game. And the 4s, of course, we start this coming week. But we'll come back to Alexandra Park actually in spades. But yeah, man. But as said, Ibis FC, we have 4 teams in the Southern Amateur League. Remember, you can follow the Southern Amateur League on Twitter at GlemNetSAL on Twitter, and the SAL1907 on Facebook, facebook.com/VSAL1907, and the Amateur Football Alliance, I think it's facebook.com/Amateur Football Alliance, and they are at amateur-FA on Twitter as well. But you know what? Let's skip on, because we've got quite a lot to go through in this grassroots segment this week. So we are going to shift on to the second of the 3 teams that we feature on the grassroots segment. Haringey Borough Women's FC, their club information, they're located in Coles Park, White Hart Lane, Tottenham, London N17 7JP. They do have a Facebook group, Haringey Borough Women's FC. It's a private group, but ask, and I'm sure they'll let you into the group. They're on Twitter as well at HBWFC1. At HBWFC1 is their handle on Twitter, and their website is www.haringeywomensfc.co.uk. They train on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 7:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. at Northumberland Park Community School, Truelock Road, London N17 0PG, and their match days are on Sundays. You know what? Also, on that subject, we have a match report from them this week, and it's Billericay Town versus Haringey Borough Women's FC, and unfortunately, Haringey Borough Women's FC lost 6-0. The location was the New Lodge on September 8th, 2013. The kickoff time was 2 p.m. in the Eastern Region Women's League. And this was sent to us by Mr. Kendall Campbell. So big shout out to an Ibis teammate of mine and the coach at Haringey Borough Women's FC. In the Eastern Region Women's League, the scoreline tells its own story, and it could have been worse. Strong and powerful opponents were kept at bay for the first 25 minutes through fine goalkeeping by Angelika Kopek and stubborn defending, but after Kopek was deceived by a 35-yard free kick, followed within a minute by a run through the heart of the defence and a second goal, there was no way back for Borough. At the start of the second half, Joselina Ferreira did threaten to put Borough back in the game with a strong run in from the left, but screwed her finish well wide of the far post. The home keeper was never tested throughout the game. By the end, it had become one-way traffic and the damage limitation exercise for Borough. With their hard work defence never being given any respite by any period of sustained pressure at the other end of the field. But for some desperate blocking and goal line clearances, the outcome could have been much worse. The Borough squad was Angelica Kopek, Jade Harris, Carla Parker, Shirley Minette, Lorraine Gabidon, Karen Nichols, Daria Kaminska, Erika Varikova, Stephanie Cooper, Marianne Sheena, Joselina Ferreira, Julia Carruthers, and Roxanne Eshon. So it's one of them ones, man. If you need more information about Haringey Borough Women's FC, email HBWFC Twitter at gmail.com as well. You know what? We've also, courtesy of Mr. Dave Potter, who's actually in the Skype chat with us. Dave, would you like to say a big hello to the people? Is Dave with us? Dave Potter, are you with us? Oh, we might have to come back to Dave. We might have to come back to Dave if we can. But let's roll on to Stevenage Borough, who, courtesy of Dave Potter, has brought us up to date with what's going on at Stevenage Borough Ladies FC. So it's one of them ones, man. Let's jump in. Let's jump in because it has been Stevenage Borough Ladies finished last season off very well indeed, and as a squad of players. But unfortunately, like every season, we have had players come and go. We know that only too well at the Ibis. It has been a difficult start to the season with both teams struggling for numbers for the first few league matches and only managing bare 11s at times, and once going out with 10. Had that with Ibis last season as well. Madness, man. Grassroots football. Got to support it, people. But the league, in their wisdom, kick off on the 18th of August for the first team, and the reserves follow suit on the 25th. So if players away on holiday and at festivals coupled together with injuries, we were struggling. The 18th of August, the first team started the season with an away trip to Bedford, which is a tough place to go with us struggling for players. And we had to call on 6 of the reserve team players. And after drawing level twice, we went behind and ended up losing 4-2. Moving on to the 25th of August, we were still missing a lot of players, but this week we had 2 teams to field, and both teams having 12, but the reserves missing key players. The first team had a good 3-0 win away to Sawbridgeworth Town, who Haringey Borough actually played last week, as Kendall mentioned to us. But it was welcome to the Eastern region for the reserves, who took a hammering, losing 5-0 against the Huddleston Owls. On the 1st of September, the first were away to Barking, and after a fighting display with 10 players, after losing a player on the day of the match, beat Barking 3-2, scoring the winner in the last minute. The reserves were away to Royston and could only field 11, but had most of their core players back and outclassed Royston with a well-deserved 4-0 win. On the 8th of September, numbers were picking up and both teams were managing to have some subs today. First were home to Leverstock Green and had an indifferent first half, going in at the break 3-0 down. But after a rousing team talk, came out a different team and played Leverstock off the pitch, but only managed to score twice and losing 3-2. 3-2, so close, but unlucky. The reserves were away to Hutton and came out 6-1 winners, with almost the strongest team on display today, and were too much for the home team. The reserves are back at Hutton again this week in the cup, but we all know it will be a different game and won't take Hutton lightly. So the first played 4, won 2, lost 2, and the reserves have played 3, and they've won 2 and lost 1. So it's one of them ones, man. A big shout to Mr. Dave Potter, and also a big shout to Stevenage Borough Ladies FC. Their information is as follows: www.clubwebsite.co.uk/Stevenage Borough Borough FC. Their Facebook page is Stevenage Borough Ladies FC, and their first team, I said, is in the first team is in the Eastern Region Premier for 2013-2014, and their reserve team is in the Eastern Region South for 2013-2014. They play on Sunday afternoons, and their home pitch is the Codecote Sports and Social Club, Berry Lane, Codecote, SG48 XXX. So it's one of them ones, man. All that information supplied by Mr. Dave Potter. Thank you very much for that. You know what? In the grassroots segment, we're still here. We're here for a bit in the grassroots segment. And you know what? From the 3rd of September 2013, Tuesday 3rd, huge news for the SAL, Southern Amateur League, and AFA, because Buckingham Palace is to host its first official football match as part of the Football Association's 150th anniversary celebrations. The Duke of Cambridge, president of the FA, helped arrange the game between two of England's oldest amateur clubs. Civil Service FC and Polytechnic FC, both based in Chiswick, West London, will play at the Palace on the 7th of October. Prince William will host the event and also present medals to 150 volunteers. The Queen gave her permission for the unique Southern Amateur League fixture. Wembley groundsman Tony Stones will work with the Royal Household Gardeners to create a pitch in the 40-acre garden. William praised the 400,000 volunteers who help run local matches every year. He said, "In our 150th year, it's hugely important for the FA to honour the efforts of the many thousands of volunteers who week in, week out help to provide the opportunity for millions more people to enjoy football at grassroots level." Greg Dyke, chairman of the FA, said he was delighted about the first ever game of football to be played at Buckingham Palace on the Buckingham Palace Gardens. You know what? If you want to find out more about Civil Service FC and Polytechnic, who oddly enough happen to be local rivals of Ibis FC, so it's tremendous. It's one of them ones. You got us here in Dukes Meadow, you got Civil Service to our right, and directly ahead across the road is Polytechnic. So that's how close proximity we're in. But Civil Service FC, you can find them on Twitter at CSFC1863. Polytechnic FC, you can find on Twitter at Polytechnic FC. The SAL at Glemnet SAL, and the AFA Amateur Football Alliance Amateur FA on Twitter. We're not done. We are not done in the grassroots segment, because Straight Shooting LJA and
George, the G-man.
See what I have to put up with. But you know what? Yeah, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Alexandra Park FC, especially Ray Gerlach, Dave McLaughlin, and a lot of other people as well. Christian Carambo, Robert Perez, Philippe Wick as well. It's on them ones, man. Our Saturday, my weekend was absolutely fantastic because of this. I also got to visit family up in North London as well, so it was fantastic. But Saturday, September 7th, 2013 is a date that will no doubt go down in the annals of history for local Southern Amateur League club Alexandra Park FC. Not only did they start the season playing their first game for over 50 years in the league's Premier Division, but the club secured their first ever sponsorship deal with Swiss-based sports clothing company 14. This unique partnership actually started over 30 years ago when the now CEO of 14, Philippe Wick, came to London to start his banking career. During his 2-year stay, during the 80s, he was introduced to Alexandra Park by a work colleague and was so impressed by the club's welcoming and friendly approach that he felt compelled to come back and return the favour 30 years later. At the presentation on Saturday, Wick commented, "As a 21-year-old speaking very little English, London could have been a very intimidating place. Alexandra Park was a wonderful environment for me. They were a friendly, welcoming, community-spirited club who had many positive principles both on and off the field that made it both a pleasurable and rewarding experience to be a part of." I am now fortunate enough to be able to come back and say thank you in a meaningful way to the club, whose principles do not seem to have changed over the past 30 years. 14 sponsorship includes full sets of kit for all 10 adult teams, training tops, polo shirts for all members, 70 footballs, training bibs, and a surprise check for £1,000. Attending the launch were 14's team, including World Cup winner Christian Carambo and Arsenal star Robert Perez, who myself, Straight Shooting LJ, and the G-Man were lucky enough to meet both of them, which was a fantastic experience.
It was totally humbling as well.
That's what he said. He had his Arsenal shirt on as well, so you could imagine.
No, but they're great characters,
Yeah, brilliant people. Brilliant, people, brilliant.
And I just love
More
that.
than willing to sign autographs,
Precisely.
have a couple of interviews with us. Pitch Talk on the road at the Alexandra Park launch event is coming soon, so keep an eye out.
I just love the casualness of both of them. How they just rocked down, and Perez was just walking all over the place, signing,
doing kickoffs and everything. No,
great stuff.
It was fantastic, man. And ex-Alexandra Park player manager Ray Gerlach seen presenting the sponsorship package to the Alexandra Park club chairman Dave McLaughlin, who's the first team manager John Morris, and first XL captain Alex Patterson. Big shout out to Dave McLaughlin, by the way. Big shout out. Really nice guy. Same with Ray Gerlach as well. Fantastic people. Really, they both made us feel so welcome, and it was such a great atmosphere. Such a great atmosphere on Saturday. But you know what, yeah? Let's give you a bit of background about 14. 14 was founded in January 2011 with the aim to design, create, develop, manufacture and distribute precision engineered sportswear worldwide. Currently, the company enjoys distribution contracts covering all continents and continues to develop its network worldwide. The company name is inspired by the 14 principles by which they live and stand for. As well as design, innovation and quality, 14 ensures that all manufacturing adheres to the highest ethical, quality control and best practice standards. You can find out more information about 14 at www.14.com. Let's have some information just to round this out about Alexandra Park FC, Alexandra Park Football Club. The Alexandra Park Club has been in existence for over a century, with the cricket section being founded in 1888, the adult football shortly after in 1898, and the youth football joining the ranks in 1995. They actually have 27 youth sides, something like that we were told. The Alexandra Park Football Club is a founder member of the Amateur Football Alliance, AFA, in 1908, and now boasts 10 men's sides and the women's team, together with 29 youth sides, 26 boys and 3 girl sides, creating one of the largest amateur clubs in the capital, in London. So if you want more information, www.alexandraparkclub.com is where you can find that info. Woo! You know what? What a weekend! What a weekend it was for us, G-Man. I mean, I can honestly say that I was legitimately privileged to have been at Alexandra Park FC this weekend, and it was a fantastic event.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to say that I managed to shake Perez's hand 3 times. Yeah. 3 times! Because of Liam. 3 times! Yeah. No jokes. But no, honestly, it was a great opportunity, and, thanks to those guys, especially Ray, who done a lot of the mingling, got in between for both of us and setting up those interviews, so... Great stuff. Yeah,
man. It was one of them. It was just so good. It was such a good event, and it was a really good turnout of people as well. Mm-hmm. Which we got to support grassroots. And you know what? In terms of grassroots football, it's a case of I might be kind of giving away the ending to Pitch Talk on the road, but it's one of them ones. In the words that just to finish off the grassroots segment, if it looks good, you'll buy it. If it looks good, I'll leave you in the words of Kid Rock. If it looks good, you'll see it. If it sounds good, you'll hear it. If it's marketed right, you'll buy it. But if it's real, you'll feel it. And for me, I love grassroots football. And also it was one of them ones. We also caught up with Andrew Copeland up there as well, who's the trailer for his Pitch Talk meets we played earlier. So met Andy up there. He was taking some photos, of course, for the SAL standard. So keep your eyes peeled for the next edition of the SAL standard, which will no doubt feature the Alexandra Park launch event. And you know what? It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, It was really good stuff. I'd also just like to give a shout out to the team that Tom Wood plays for, which is Hambro Colts, who are a 7-a-side team and playing their games at Shrub End, Colchester. Their season actually starts soon, and Tom Wood can't wait. He's the vice captain, looking to be the captain. So on them ones, man. We've got to encourage grassroots football, because that pyramid has to stay strong.